What's up everyone, welcome back to LaceUp channel. My name is Mickey. In this video, we're going to talk about bin types within your warehouse. So from the time a product is received to when it's put away to when it gets picked and finally when it gets shipped out of the warehouse, there needs to be a bin structure within your warehouse that regulates the movement of that product. Every single bin in your warehouse has a corresponding location as well as a corresponding behavior. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Anyways, let's get right into it. The first bin that we want to talk about is your receiving bin. The bin wherein you receive product from your vendors. Normally, this is a dock area located behind your doors from which the vendor backs their truck up and unloads the product. Now this is, you're like, oh Mickey, but that's not my receiving bin, it's not big enough. Listen Johnny, I know most distributors and most companies as a whole can't use their dock as a receiving bin, so normally they structure and set up different receiving bins throughout the warehouse. As a matter of fact, many of my customers, especially those constrained by space, they end up using the area in between the aisles in their warehouse as those receiving bins. And then little by little, after the product is received, somebody comes, scans that product, and transfers it to its put away bin. But guys, here is where it gets difficult. Understanding, hey, where the hell do I put these receiving bins? Well, you want to put the receiving bins in areas within your warehouse where they don't disrupt the flow of traffic, where they don't disrupt somebody picking an order, somebody doing a cycle count, somebody going and transferring from a put away or an overstock bin into a picking bin. That's what you don't want to do. So in the event of my customers, again, they use the dock itself as a receiving bin. Others use the aisles, the spaces, in between the aisles as a receiving bin, and even others have a dedicated receiving area within the warehouse. So that's what you guys need to be thinking about for the receiving. So the receiving bin is a good segue into the put away bin. Ooh, the put away bin just gives me chills because it's so damn important. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put a video down below, I'm gonna link it, that talks about the put away bin. Anyways guys, a put away bin is where you put product into that bin directly from a receiving bin. So simple, product moves from a receiving bin into this put away bin. Now for my customers, the majority of them end up using their overstock spaces, i.e. the bin locations above the picking area to put the product away. Now the reason why they do this is because product traditionally comes in full pallets, or it comes in a situation where you need to break down the pallet and build a new pallet. Either way, once a pallet is built, best practices entail putting that pallet away above, and then when the product runs out below, transferring that pallet from above to below. Now at this, you're like, Mickey, but what happens if the product below is running empty and we need to transfer it? Listen, Johnny, you know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is you don't want to come with a nicely structured pallet that optimizes space within your warehouse and just stick it into a picking bin. That's not always the best practice. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there is a type of put away bin that also double purposes or is used as a picking bin as well. This is called a put pick bin. So a put pick bin allows you to put product into it as a put away and pick from it immediately. Now these bins are normally used for high velocity items that you can't keep on hand. You want, the moment that pallet gets received from a vendor, you want to put it into this put pick bin so that your pickers can come and fulfill orders. Hey everyone, sorry for interrupting your video. Look, a quick message from our sponsors. Yours truly, do me a favor, go down below, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe. Anyways, back to your video. So that's a good segue into the third bin type called a picking bin. So I know we've talked about the put pick bin, but let's talk about a standalone picking bin. A standalone picking bin allows me, the warehouse picker, to go to that picking bin and grab product, grab contents from the shelf and put them on my cart or on my pallet jack. It's that simple. A picking bin normally resides at eye level, okay? And normally it is the bottom section of a racking system. The whole bottom section is traditionally picking and above is reserved for overstock. Now, normally, most of my customers don't use the above bins as picking bins, but there are exceptions to the rule. Some of my customers, again, they're not optimized for space. Their warehouse is becoming a constraint to generate the volume that they wish to generate. So they end up using even bins above as picking bins. Now, this is not my recommended practice, because when you use bins above as picking bins, you endanger, or you increase the probability, I'm not going to say endanger, but increase the probability that somebody below, okay, could climb up to a bin above to grab something, and they could fall and hurt themselves, and that could be a tremendously huge lawsuit for your business. My recommendation, keep your picking bins at eye level. Okay, keep your picking bins at arm reach. And again, this isn't for huge corporations that have robot arms picking the product. I could care less about those. That's not our business. This is for those of you that have employees that physically pick product. They need to have their picking bin at eye level. The fourth type of bin is a staging or shipping bin. So once you're in the process of picking an order, let's say you're done picking that order for the day, you need somewhere to place it, because it may not be necessarily being shipped out that day. So what you do is you take your pallet jack, you take your cart, and you walk over to something we call a staging or shipping bin. And these staging or shipping bins are transitory. The moment the product goes in, the next day the product is going to get picked from those bins, put in a box, and shipped out. That's one alternative, and that's in the shipping world. In the other world, which is distribution, normally the staging bin doubles as a bin that holds everything going onto a particular truck out for delivery. Now, normally these staging bins are optimized in a way where they can fit the contents of an entire order 80% of the time within a single bin. I've got a distributor that's got 7 trucks. On the floor, they've taped down imaginary lines 7 times, labeled 1 through 7. Each of those bins is what we call a staging bin. Once the product is ready to go out the following day, the order itself is marked as shipped, and shipped means that the order is going to leave that staging bin and it's officially exiting the doors of the warehouse to the outside world. It's pretty straightforward, guys. A staging bin is a bin that holds your product until it's shipped out. Now, at this stage, you're probably like, okay, Mickey, but I don't do pallets. I don't do these huge products. I've got, a pen. I ship these little pens. What do I do? Well, normally, guys, in these warehouses, you have a rack system with little shelves, okay? And each shelf could serve as one of these staging bins. When the time comes to ship this product out, what you want to do is you want to have a system in place that tells you in which little shelf bin is this product located, so that you can walk up with your scanner, scan it, validate its contents, pull out the product, put it in a box, print a shipping label, stick the shipping label on the box, and then ship the box by scanning the shipping label. It's that simple. Now, in any warehouse that you have anything going out, at times you have product being returned. Maybe the product that you shipped out broke. Maybe the customer didn't want it and wanted to return it. Well, you should be able to, within any warehouse, have something called a damaged or returns bin. Now, when the product arrives back from the customer, whether it's through a shipment or whether it's one of your trucks picking the product up from the customer itself, it needs to go through a quality check. And in that quality check, you should be equipped with your scanner. You should scan the product, and you should be able to categorize that product as something that's going to get returned to stock or something that's going to get put into this damaged bin. Now, if it's going to get returned to stock, that process is straightforward. It'll then go into a receiving bin type, and then it'll get checked into its bin. But if the product is damaged, okay? If the product is damaged, the way that my customers do it is that traditionally they have a segment or a small section in the corner of the warehouse taped off that says damaged. And anything that comes that's damaged gets transferred from the receiving into that bin. So a truck comes back, it's got a pallet of broken goods. I'm going to scan the pallet, I'm going to label it as damaged, and then I'm going to proceed to transfer it into that corner bin. Now, the only purpose of this, the only purpose of putting that into a damaged bin is because you want to write off the expense of that item. This inventory or this damaged section is used to adjust out of inventory the product that is truly damaged. So you get a return, you flag it as damaged, you put it in this bin, it's increased your inventory. At some point, somebody's gonna have to go over there, look at that product and do a cycle count of that bin to zero it out. That will create an adjustment that will not only adjust out the on hand, but it'll adjust out the inventory asset value on your balance sheet. And again, so that you can visualize this, it's literally red tape, okay, in a corner of your warehouse where it's not in the way. Like, if you're a good company, you shouldn't have millions of dollars in damaged product. And I'm sorry to generalize like this, but generally in the distribution world, there just isn't a bunch of damaged product that's causing the company a lot of financial harm. So guys, anyways, I hope that you enjoyed that explanation. I'm sorry for digressing at some segments. If you did, do me a favor, scroll down below, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next video.